ladies and gentlemen, wonderful people. This is Call of Duty fanatics. Welcome back to another Warzone report, and this, guys, is going to be a rather strange and bizarre one. And in this one, I'm going to talk about the secret message that's hidden in a most bizarre Warzone trailer that we ever seen. And yes, guys, I'm referring to the last trailer where Captain Butcher is basically announcing that we are leaving Caldera or whatever is going to happen. That trailer lasts around 40 seconds and it's mysterious as ever. Now, I was talking to Killer Steege and Nikki, who are helping me regularly on Easter egg hunts, etc., and we kind of have mutual agreement on what the developers wanted to say to us with the last trailer. So guys, it's an absolute imperative that you stay with us because we want to open here a broader discussion, so your opinion matters as well. After you watch the video, please let me know also in the comment section below, what do you think about this theory? Are they actually telling us what we think they are telling us? And what do you think how Caldera era and OG Warzone era is going to end? Also, guys, before we proceed any further, please give a like to this video. And also, if you're first time to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Now, recently, there is not much interest for Warzone videos, unfortunately. So, for the sake of algorithm, the hardcore fans are being called to like this video, leave a comment. And if you're not subscribed, but you follow the channel, now is the right time to subscribe. And now, get some popcorns ready, because we are starting. As you probably already know, 2-3 days ago, Activision on its official Twitter account released a trailer, which basically showed us that there is going to be an end of an era, end of Caldera, end of OG Warzone. Like, everybody is confused what the hell happened in that trailer, because they are not showing much, but the message that Butcher is sending to us is very significant. So first of all, I'm gonna play the trailer again, and then we are going to break down every sentence and every word Butcher said, because there is a much more to the meaning of his message than we think. So pay attention first to the integral trailer, and then we will break it down sentence by sentence.
Welcome to paradise, they said. Some paradise. Wish you were here. The years I've spent on this island, so many battles, so many memories. Friends I've loved, friends I've lost. I've witnessed things you would not believe. This place, it's special. It's fucking surreal. But it's time to evac the survivors, because this journey ain't over yet. Not by a long chalk. Butcher out. Welcome to paradise, they said. Some paradise.
So guys, at the beginning he is actually saying welcome to paradise, some paradise, they said. Now Captain Butcher is referring here to Caldera, definitely. And if you remember the trailers that we got before Caldera was released, we had a tons of small trailers, teasers, when they were actually announcing Paradise and the Paradise Island with a full new content, new things to do, new Easter eggs. Like, they promised everything in this world about the Caldera. And when I say they, I think about Activision, about the developers and studios who were working on this game. So the first sentence is kind of, Butcher being sad, like, welcome to paradise, they said. And we got actually quite the opposite. We got a complete mess, and we got a game that was constantly glitchy, constantly in a problems. And at the end of the story, we got the game with almost zero meaningful content, especially if we are taking in consideration the Easter eggs and the story development, because there was no story development. They're jumping down everywhere. From the Second World War, Terminators, Nazis, we had absolutely everything. Game was completely inconsistent, and there was a lot of problems during the whole life cycle of Caldera. So he was kind of here saying, yeah, okay, we messed up. They promised a lot, but we had zero implementation over there. And you can actually feel that in his voice, that he is kind of disappointed with what Caldera ended up like.
Wish you were here.
Wish you were here, Butcher said, and he had this ominous laugh in the background. Now guys, as much as this sounds silly and maybe just our imagination, Captain Butcher, or developers in this case, were actually taunting people like myself and everybody else who is kind of still crying for Verdansk. You know, wish you were here, he's sad, and then all of a sudden he starts to laugh. Ha 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 ha. You know? So they were kind of taunting us because we are still kind of hopeful that we are going back to Verdansk. Now don't get me wrong guys, that still might happen, but not at this stage of the game, and definitely not this year. So this was kind of completely off topic, him saying wish you were here. Like, that's what's being circulating around the community for quite some time in the past, because everybody wants Verdansk back. Even the guy who's one of the top people in NASA also said he would like, and he stated his opinion publicly, he would like to see Verdansk back. Then we had songs written about Verdansk, people signing petitions, etc. And developers here were basically saying, no, you're not getting Verdansk back, you're all just silly.
The years I've spent on this island, so many battles, so many memories. Friends I've loved, friends I've lost.
Friends I loved and friends I've lost. Now this is one of the saddest part of this script, because one of the lead developers in Raven Software actually confirmed that they were referring to people who used to actively play this game, but they left us, they died, or they died in accidents, out of illness or something like that. And it's a very nice tribute to all of the people that used to play this game. But also, I think they are also referring to this over 60 million player base that left this game because all of this chaos that's happening around.
I've witnessed things you would not believe.
I witnessed things you would not believe, and yes guys, we witnessed absolutely everything in the life cycle of Caldera. First of all, we started with the hunting remnants of the Nazi Germany and their project to establish a Fourth Reich. We witnessed secret laboratories, we witnessed Nebula 5 gas. Then we all of a sudden witnessed appearance of the Titans, which would be Godzilla and King Kong. Then after Godzilla and King Kong, we witnessed the appearance of the Terminators. And at the end of the story, everything was a complete mess, which culminated in the season 5 when we got Menendez, Raul Menendez, Seraph, Khaled al-Assad, and other villains that are kind of dead, and they came from somewhere, like from the future, from the past, like they just resurrected from completely out of nowhere. And that's what the developers were referring in this one. So you've seen things, I've seen things that you could not believe. And yes, guys, I repeat myself, we seen it all in this life cycle in Caldera.
This place, it's special. It's fucking surreal. But it's time to evac the survivors, because this journey ain't over yet. Not by a long chalk. Butcher out.
Now, in the last one, he is actually saying how Caldera, after all of these problems, is still a special place, which is because we are still playing. But at the end of his transmission, he is actually saying that the survivors needs to be evacuated. Now, I have a slight disagree with the Killer Siege and Nikki about this part, because they think we are going to exfil somewhere. We are going to have some event, some meaningful end to the story. I actually think that in this case, survivors are us, guys. So the hardcore community that are still playing this game, that are still a dedicated Warzone fans, and that we need to be evacuated to the Warzone 2. So it's more of a message from developers to us that we prepare for a transfer to Warzone 2, than actually that we are really going to evacuate somewhere from Caldera, in the sense that some kind of a disaster is going to happen, like we had the nuke hitting Verdansk. Also, in the same part of this last piece of transmission, Captain Butcher is saying that this journey is not over yet, not by a long chunk. I think that he actually refers to the continuation of the Warzone story in general, because we are moving to Warzone 2, and there is a hope that things will get better because of the new game. And I strongly believe that that was the message from developers to us. Of course, you have to kind of read all of these things in between the lines. Now, I might be completely wrong, and my squad might be completely wrong, but still, there are so many similarities to our theory that are currently happening in reality, that at the end of the story, I think we are 90% accurate with what I'm saying here in this video. Now, guys, also take a look at this picture. This is a work of Killer Stage exclusively, and on top of the picture we can actually see the Season 1 intro cinematic, where basically Butcher is observing his plane that crashed on a beach before he entered the secret hatch, or a secret laboratory on Caldera. And on Season 5 outro cinematic, we can actually see the same position of his plane, although now it's completely rusty, it's a wreck, it's been there for years. But we also see on the bottom right corner, we see a corpse. Now, there is a lot of, we speculated a lot, what is this, and I have the craziest theory possible at the moment. And my theory is that Captain Butcher is actually dead, because his lethargic voice, the echo that we hear in his voice, fits perfectly the movie narrative. Like, you know, when you have in the movies, when somebody is like kind of, he died, and then the other characters is remembering his thoughts, like the whole Butcher narrative and script sounds like that, especially when they added that echo to his voice. So it sounds like he's, you know, talking to us from heavens or from wherever he is. But I strongly believe that as we are in Caldera in 2022, that Captain Butcher is actually dead and no longer with us. And last but not least thing, guys, is this little fella over here, which is the white crab that appears somewhere in the middle of the trailer. This little guy is actually the only living being that's appearing in this trailer, which is bizarre as well and very, very strange. Now, if you Google a little bit about the symbolism of a crab, you will find some very interesting things. Now, crab symbolizes defense, resilience, adaptability, resourcefulness, self-reliance, change and growth, and of course, journey. Now, this white crab, guys, it's actually Activision. Now, as much as it sounds crazy, I think that's what the developers wanted to say to us, to pass on the message that there is going to be a journey with them, that they are predicting and making change and growth, and that we need to turn our focus toward Warzone 2 because future is in Warzone 2. I know I might be overcomplicating things, guys, but just take a step back and think about it. With all of this symbolism and everything, why is the crab only living being that's appearing in this trailer? We usually had a lot of operators, a lot of shooting, helicopters being taken down, planes being taken down. Now all of a sudden we're just having one little crab appearing, and I just told you what the crab symbolizes in many cultures. So just, as I said, take a step back and think about it. Anyways, my fellow Caldera citizens, that would be all for today's a little bit bigger report. Please let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about these theories? Our developers are actually telling us and trying to send us a secret message that it's time to move and just let the past go. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for future great Call of Duty and gaming content. And until next time, my fellow Caldera citizens, I wish you all the best and stay frosty.